Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is yours truly, J to the B to the IRD, and today we have a very special treat for you guys. I am very excited because I just got hold of two really awesome plugins that just so happen to be drum kits made by a music software company called Mixwave. Shout outs to Mixwave. And really, Mixwave, you're awesome because I'm super appreciative of the fact that you guys have teamed up with two of my favorite drummers to make these kits. And the two drummers that I'm referring to are none other than Thomas Pridgen and Tony Royster Jr. Thomas Pridgen and Tony Royster Jr. now have virtual drum kits for all of us to create with. Let me tell you, I can't wait to dig in. This is my first time getting to explore both of these kits. I wanted to share this with you guys. Hopefully you will enjoy the experience with me. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get it started. And here we are with the Thomas Pridgen kit. This is the signature snare. Let's just go ahead and get to the sounds. Kick sounds nice. Definitely sounds like a snare. Ooh, that's that bass tone. Okay, so a little bit different. I'm used to the Studio Drummer Native Instruments kit years back. I think they're on Complete 11 now. But the MIDI mapping is a little bit different. You can change it however you want to. I believe, according to what I saw on the settings page, yes, this is how you can change the destination of the sounds on any of the keys, any of the MIDI controllers. All right, going back to the kit view, we got these tom racks all the way to the, and honestly, these sound really good. I'm a little bit more accustomed to the precision funk sound, more tight. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I could just immediately customize this, but this kit sounds good. It really does. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That definitely sounds like a kit that Thomas would play on for sure. I mean, this is his kit. This is how, if you wanted to set up your kit like Thomas, this is how it would look. So we're going to go ahead and go to that pop snare, all right? I'm going to go ahead and, woo, see, now we're talking about, hey, I'm touring with Keisha Cole in 2005. I just got finished playing with Guapale. I'm touring with the GWMA Gospel Youth Mass Choir. This snare drum, okay? Nice roll sound. And then the cymbals. Let's not forget the cymbals. So I see we have a splash here. There's a splash. Yeah, man. We have some clap cymbals. I see one right above the snare drum. See if I can find that real quick. So this has kind of become a popular cymbal, being able to stack these warped cymbals on top of each other, be it 2 or 3. In this case, I see 3 of them. And you can kind of use this like a drummer would use a clap on a beat pad. But I think it sounds super cool. Just have to turn this up a little bit. And then there's your spiral crash, which I've seen Chris Dave play this a lot, and of course, you know, it's become more popular over the years. But man, I'm really loving that snare. I can't wait to get up in this thing and tweak it. Let's see. We have the mixer board with all of the sounds on each channel, all the drums on one screen, and then the cymbals on the other. As you can see, you can not only tune the drums, But you can also tune the cymbals. So, for instance, this little splash, if you wanted to tune that, I believe you just highlight it and raise up the pitch. There's a lot of different things you can do with this. But for the drums, what I like to do for my own personal preference is make sure that snare is a little bit tight. Give it a little bit of volume, because I don't like the snare to be too quiet in comparison to the kick. Yeah, so that sounds really good. That's a good groove right there. This kit is amazing. This is cool. Some reverb effects. Like, I did notice that the toms have a little too much reverb for my taste. Okay. All right. And then maybe just turn these down just a little bit. And then we got the overhead. So I did turn down the room a little bit earlier, the room mic. So it does give a different approach with the sound. You hear a little bit more depth with that room mic, okay? Kind of sounds like 80s drums a little bit. Bands like the 1975 or Paramore would probably favor this type of mic setup. But if you want more of a dry sound, you can completely turn the room down so that you have, more of a R&B gospel mix. And then this overhead mic, let's see. This is without the overhead mics or the room. If you turn the room on, sounds like. All right, sounds like the entire room being recorded. But I like the overhead mics. So after a little bit of tweaking, I can definitely work with this. I want to say that this kit is definitely promising. I appreciate the setup here. If I go to the cymbals, it really depends on what type of song that you're making. But in this case, this really does sound like. And that is the Thomas Pridgen kit thus far. We're going to go ahead and open up Tony Royster Jr.'s drum kit and explore that for the first time. And so far, we have a kit that definitely looks like Tony's kit for sure because of the 2 snare drums and, just the way you can tell this is Tony's kit just because of how flat everything is, the way it's set up between the actual drums and the cymbals. But I noticed that this floor tom, I've never seen this before. We got this floor tom here that is very reminding of the bodiless conga that came out some years ago. We got all the toms. This is the brass snare. Kind of sounds like Thomas's signature snare a little bit, with the exception of this brass snare. It's a little bit more, I would say, geared towards the pop side, whereas Thomas's signature snare is geared towards the rock sound. All right, so we have his high rack, and this is kind of what do they call this one? They call this the piccolo tom. Wow, piccolo tom. I'm sure. This kind of reminds me of, the quad kits. This sounds like the smallest one. We got a couple of hi-hats here. All right, we got some cymbals. Wow. There's that. Now, this is Tony's clap cymbal. This is another clap cymbal that we were talking about earlier. This clap cymbal sounds louder than Thomas's clap cymbal. And it might be because it's a little bit, I guess you can say, a little bit more rusted. And right here we go with the tight sound, with the tight snare sound. We got a piccolo snare. And we also have a popcorn snare. Wow, that's amazing. You gotta love these snares, man. I think that's probably my favorite part of exploring these drum kits are the different snare drums. We have an aluminum snare, moving on from the brass snare, the wood snare, okay, and then the Galaxy snare for more of your older, I guess, type sounds. But you know, I feel like this definitely has a variety for sure. So if I scroll down a little bit, because I know there's a mixing board somewhere, there we go with the mixer. All right, so the way these mixers are set up, it looks like one page is for half of the drums, and the other mixer page is for the rest of the drums. So it's not like Thomas's kit where the first page was all drums and then the second page was all cymbals. This is pretty much half and half as far as the kit goes. So let's see if we can choose a snare, which, you know, me, I like to go precision. I'll go ahead and put it back to piccolo on this left-hand side. Let's go ahead and see what we can do about this piccolo, see if we can get this a little bit tighter. We're going to go ahead and, because right now I hear the resonance in the kit. You know what's cool about these piccolo toms and the concert toms, along with the rack toms and just the rest of the toms, okay? This is a gong tom is what they call it. But you know, I like how it sounds because it reminds me of Larry Blackmon from Cameo. I kind of played it like I was Phil Collins, but if you go more Larry Blackmon, right? Bam. So that's that Knights of the Sound table. I like this kit for sure. There's definitely a lot more to explore, but let's go ahead and keep exploring, man. Let's see what we can do as far as tweaking these sounds a little bit. Okay. All right, so once again, I'm kind of taking a little bit of the room sound out to see how the overhead sounds. It's giving it a little bit more dryness. This is totally fine to see how the drums sound without all the microphones and stuff like that. This is good to see how the drums sound just on its own, really. Let's see how this roll sounds. So there's Tony's roll. Tony's technique for rolls. Like this roll sound alone is a testament to his marching band / drum corps background. So I like this clap cymbal a little bit better than this one. I think this one's fine too. If you're going to be playing the 2 and 4 on something other than the snares, this cymbal is a perfect alternative. I think this about wraps it up for being able to explore. You know, I really can't choose one or the other, to be honest. You know, I would use Thomas's kit for a lot of the rock stuff if I were to do any kind of rock or, you know, progressive rock or anything that sort of reminds people of what he did with the Mars Volta or his own band, the Memorials. Definitely the R&B sound for sure. If a drummer was playing live for any R&B artist, anybody who needed a live R&B drummer, I think Thomas's kit would be perfect for that. I think Tony's kit would be perfect for it too, but I would say more so on the pop side. Like this kit right here can just do it all. I definitely hear this kit being played in the Katy Perry set or Justin Bieber set, or Ariana Grande, or Justin Timberlake even. So guys, in conclusion, like I like both of these kits. I really do. Really, there's a reason why I got both of them at the same time, so I could explore them both at the same time. I mean, in all honesty, the drum kits are very significant from one another, even though they're both DW kits, because both Thomas and Tony do play DW drums. They both play Zildjian cymbals. As you can see, there's K customs on both of these setups. They got many, many different kinds of cymbals. I mean, Thomas's snare compared to Tony's piccolo. It's similar, right? But there's different nuances to each drum piece. And like I was saying earlier, Thomas's signature snare, it's a little similar to Tony's brass snare, but Tony's brass snare sounds more like it could be in the pop realm, whereas Thomas's signature snare can be more in the rock realm. I do like the clap cymbals on Tony's kit, that one, but especially this one. That's probably my favorite one on Tony's kit. But as far as the spiral cymbal, I love that. I love the fact that Thomas has that on his kit. I love Thomas's crashes. I think Thomas's crashes are probably my favorite on here. And the splash also. Tony's, they're not bad either. In fact, not a huge difference. This one has a little bit more bass, this crash here. This one's a little bit more stacked with the little ridges on the edge of the cymbal. And then also this one. I mean, there's definitely variety with the cymbals. It's like you can't go wrong with either of these kits. There's so much variety. It really is. If you get both of these, you won't really be needing a kit for a long time. Guys, I really have a good mind to do a virtual drum battle between both of these kits. So if you guys want to see that, please like, subscribe, and comment. So hopefully with your support, I would love to be the first to do that. And maybe Mixwave and Thomas Pridgen and Tony Royster will show appreciation for it as well. Guys, that wraps it up for this video. I want to say thank you so much. I really had fun being able to explore these for the very, very first time. There's a lot more to discover with these kits, so this is definitely not the end-all to be-all. I would highly recommend this to anybody who has a knack for drum programming and wants more of a live drum sound for their music. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. Have a good one, and we'll see you soon.